Let's see. That's actually not bad. Not a bad angle. A little glare. All right. Oh, let's see what we got now. Going to make a couple quick adjustments. Whoops. There it is. Come to Dutch. Actually, the lighting looks a lot better. Good, good, perfect. Good evening, you wonderful fluff butts. So, without further ado, we've got a little bit of a situation here. This is, I haven't done this in quite a few months now. Been kind of busy, school, work, life. But this is a unique thing I really do is I always loved interviewing furries. So this is called Behind the Fur Interview. And I kind of jumped around here and there. I got to know different fluffs throughout the last about 2 years or so. And, you know, I've interviewed anything. I've interviewed small names, big names, everything under the sun. For short is completely understandable, is that sometimes, you know, you have some that, you know, life happens, you get busy, life, whatever goes on. So we're crossing our paws. We're hoping that tonight's interview was originally, it got delayed by a few weeks because of Texas Furry Fiesta. But tonight's interviewee was going to be the Pineapple Fox. So as you can see here, I got on the TV, I have Discord set up and ready to go. And well, you know, I was waiting on them to respond on Telegram and nothing yet. So without further ado, I figured, why not do a little bit of an interesting thing? This is what I used to do is when my suit furries wouldn't be available for the interview or no show or didn't answer or whatever, we would do an option B. So this is an actual example of the different kinds of questions I usually ask all my different furry interviewees. And it's actually really neat. I really love to get to know each and every one of you, whether you're a viewer, whether you're the interviewee of the focus of the night. But these is the different types of questions that I always like to ask my different viewers. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? My goodness, we got some fluffs in here. So we got Darwin, we got Ash saying, hey, I'm doing fantastic. I'm in high hopes that Pineapple does pop in at some point. You know, and he's supposed to give me his Discord tag. I'm not the best with Discord. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Discord. I've done interviews in the past with Discord, and it's a 50-50, like me. That Discord, sometimes the sound doesn't work properly, sometimes the camera doesn't work properly, and we end up spending half of the interview slot just trying to get things to work. Who was it? I think I interviewed. It was the Brazil Fur Fest, the head honcho of that one, and we were having so many issues with the sound. It was like already like 9:30 before we actually got it figured out and finally working properly. And then it was spacey. It was lagging. We had probably poor internet reception on one of our ends. So if you don't have like really good high-speed internet, your Discord's gonna not work the greatest. All right, what do we got here? Let's see, we got Felix Husky. I have said this before, but then shirt makes you look like you have breasts. Oh my goodness. You guys still manage to make me laugh. It's just like, so yes, the tight, you know, it's the spandex. Normally what I would wear under a full suit, but I'm choosing to not really wear it because I really don't want to get all sweaty and nasty. So if I'm in full suit, you know, Florida's like really hot. So it does, yeah, I know. It does give me boobs. It gives me male boobs. Wait, I'll just do this. Like that, right? Anyway, so back to the interview situation. So, we're just waiting kindly on Pineapple Fox to show up. My time is very precious, so I can't wait all night. So if worst comes to worst, we can always, postpone again. But I'll do about every other week. I'm trying to get back into the routine of doing furry interviews because that was one of the real things that I really got a big fulfillment and enjoyment out of in the fandom was doing these interviews. And I got to know these different types of furries, and it wasn't like, oh, all you know is like, for example, Darwin the Fox. My one of my homies, he, you just know him as Darwin the Fox, but you didn't know what does he do for work, what does he like to drink, what does he like to listen, all these different kinds of questions that you normally don't get that opportunity to get to know that individual beyond their fur. Hence, I call it behind the fur interview, is getting to know a different side of them and kind of establishing sort of like a little bit of a acquaintance, maybe even friendship, to get to know them better, as well as getting the audience to know them better as well. So that's where the behind the fur interview took flight just about going on 3 years now. So it's actually been a lot of fun, and I really do enjoy getting to know all you floofs. All right, so I'm going to go through these questions, and what I would like each one of you to do on the different chats. You can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Instagram, you can do it on YouTube. I'm going to ask these different questions, and you all get to take turns answering them, and I will read them as we go. And then yes, that's how we work. That's how we make it work. And there we go. I get to interview each and every one of you wonderful viewers. And if not, hey, if y'all want to be interviewed live sometime, you'll be the focus of attention on this big 51-inch 4HK TV. So there you go. All right. So the first question I like to ask. Let me boot up my Google Doc here. All right. First question I always like to ask most my interviewees is, how long have you been in the fandom? And you can type it out here on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. And for example, for like me, let's say I was the interviewee. I've been in the fandom like I'm going on 2.5, almost 3 years now. So I've been an active furry for about 3 years. But I started about 10 years ago. I was online right around towards the end of my getting out of the Navy. And there was this thing called DeviantArt or DA. I'm sure you all have heard of it. So DeviantArt, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I saw art, and then I saw some furry art. And then I kind of ventured over when Fur Affinity or FA started right around about that time, about 2012, 2013. And I started seeing art, I started seeing fursuits, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. So in my free time, I was checking out these different fursuits, checking out the art, Twilight Saints art, of this concept art of doing like dragons and all sorts of cool stuff like that. Or checking out who the heck else we got? A bunch of different artists. I didn't know much of the artists then, but it was actually really interesting. Then right around 2017, 2018, I became a little bit more involved. I started talking to furries here and there. And right around 2019, I moved down to Florida from Minnesota, because I was freezing and I didn't want to freeze anymore. And then I learned, oh wait, there's actually people that meet up at conventions. So I went to Megaplex 2019. And from there, I'm like, okay, being a furry is actually really cool. So I just started putting on fursuits, and that's where Splits was created. So right around my open into the furry fandom, furryversary per se, would be right around August of 2019. So August of this year will mark 3 years I've been an active furry, but I've been like an inactive for about 10, going on 12 years. All right, let's see. Rusty said, now, my first son was a lion, but the horse, which I took on December 29, 12, is much better to me. And the lion, that made no sense. Well, yeah, exactly. It's amazing how you discover different ways into the fandom. Like how Splits got created was, like I mentioned earlier, Twilight Saint. Oh, I'm a big fan. But he was one of my favorite artists, fursuit dancers, and of course, being the Dutch Angel Dragon. I'm like, okay. So when I first became more active into the furry side of the fandom, then I was like, okay, first things first, I'm gonna get Dutch Angel Dragon made, and then my former roommate Suitmaker, bam, Splits came to life. And so my furryversary is right around when Splits started getting made, was like right after Megaplex in 19. And then his first physical debut was actually in MFF of 2019. And then we'll forget about 2020. Yeah, we won't go into those. We know what happened. All right. So that's okay. Don't mind if you don't miss. If you miss it, it's understandable. Everyone's busy. I mean, look at great seeing you. And I know, right? Yes, TFF 2022 was wonderful. And, the last great furry convention of 2020. And then it started out as being one of the greatest first conventions of 2022, post-pandemic. Well, not really post-pandemic, but kind of cooled down pandemic, so to speak. So it's been good ever since. Okay, so there's an example. Question number 2. What is your favorite color? Well, there you go, folks. So that's another one. I don't like to focus all on furry questions because I'm sure they get to ask these same furry questions all the time. So I like to just kind of know different ones. We don't really ask what their favorite color is. So for example, my favorite color, as always, blue. I mean, I'm wearing red. Half my face is red. It shows my fiery dragon side. But I like blue because it's soft, it's calming, it's serene. It makes you think of like water and ice and just kind of nice, very calming, soothing color. So that's my favorite color, is actually blue. Like this and the eye. So I like blue. Blue is my color. Still got to wait 3 years to get my first con. Oh, dang. We got to get in on that action. Let's see. Now ask our quest. Oh, well, there you go. So Rusty says his favorite color is blue. Let's see. Whose favorite colors do you guys get? Oh, no, nothing on Facebook yet. So there you go. That's the second general furry question. Uh-oh. TV goes sleepy. And let me check. I'm going to pause here and there in between questions. I'm going to double check if Pineapple's been answering on Telegram, because he might be busy. He might have forgot. Life happens. Where is that Telegram? Ah, there it is. So as you can see, I have been actively, this ain't new. I was trying to do an interview, but as you can see, so we understand he's busy, so we'll give them a minute. All right, back to Discord. All right, perfect. All right, so as we were, let's see, what do we got for answers? I gotta remember, I'm still a minor. I'm 15, and my parents are against furries and LGBT. And guess what? I'm both. Oh well, there you go. So it's bound to happen, folks. Yeah, don't be ashamed of it. If it's something you really enjoy and want to do, all power to it. Let's see. Okay. Oh yes. I know we should ask about our quest. All right, question number 3. So I would ask, for example, why did Pineapple Fox choose to be a pineapple and choose to be a fox of all the different sonas that are available in the fandom? So that's the next question. Why your sona? Why the colors? There's got to be a rhyme and reason to why you created your sona. Some just trip out and say, oh yeah, I'm going to be this, but a lot of people have different rhymes and reasons to why they created their sona. It could be something about their favorite video game. It could be something about their personality. It could be something about just like they really like the animal or the creature. So for example, with my sona, like a Dutch Ender Dragon that's half blue and half red, made a joke is that it's a kind of partially due to it is that there's a ride in Universal Studios called Dueling Dragons, and part of it is red and blue. And I was like, oh, I always kind of like the Dueling Dragons. I know how it's like everyone's always, you got like a an internal battle per se, and that's deciding which is better, the blue or the red side of you. And for example, why I created splits is because I'm like relatively neutral. Because in the fandom, there's always two sides to everything, whether it be good, bad, drama, whatsoever. And that's why I'm kind of like do my best to be friends and respectful of everybody because everybody has two sides. I don't take sides, which makes you a loved and hated person because then if you're not on his side, then you obviously believe what they said. I'm like, no, I'm not agreeing, or I agree to disagree. So, and there's that, always being stuck in the middle. And it represents kind of like the furry and your non furry life, like two parts. Like, for example, in my regular job, I work for the government. Only two people I work with I trust enough actually know I'm a furry. Everyone else, which is hundreds of thousands of other workers, no clue. Because you don't really sit there and go around bragging, oh, hey, I do therapy by day, but by night I dress up as a fluffy, cute red, white, and blue dragon. So it's not something you really brag about. All right, so we got Ash Dutchy. I like dragons, so I have Dutchy in a wagon. But recently I made a four for more of the NSFW stuff, different sonas for different. Well, yeah, it's completely understandable. Everyone has the rhyme and reason to why they are in the fandom, and why their sona was created. Let's see. I had some from Darwin here. Got to go with those earthy tone colors, but brown is definitely my fave. Totally agree, dude. Totally agree. Looks good on you. the the basic bitch colors. I know you made that comment once in one of your streams, Darwin, where you said you're a basic bitch. I'm just like, I thought of like your gray and green and black and brown. I'm like, basic bitch colors. That works. Let's see. Okay, what else do we got? Let's see. Rusty says, stuck in the middle with you, and I can see it makes no sense at all. Cowboys support. Well, yeah, there you go. So there's the rhyme and reason, because you got you got the star, and then you got the number and all that stuff. So it just puts two and two together. And then splits just kind of like, I always really liked and enjoyed dragons. Like, you see them in movies, you see them in mythical creatures, and they're known as, I looked it up once. I was just out of curiosity, your sona and your personality. And it said like dragons are very protective. They're usually sign of good luck, fortune, and they're known for bravery and known for being there for others when they need. And you're usually a leader. And I'm just like, not me. But in a way, maybe that's kind of true because I'm the owner and admin for a bunch of chats, so I guess I'm kind of a leader in the fandom, as well as in my regular human life. I do, I'm in charge of some of assistants. I'm in charge of volunteers. I'm in charge of a bunch of patients. So in a way, I guess it's kind of applicable that yes, I am in quite a few leadership positions, so I guess it does kind of roll into that. So it's, I figure, in a way that's kind of on the spot that it makes sense that I'm a dragon. Let's see. What else do we got? Wait, I got other comments coming in for me on Telegram. All right, I got another joiner. I'm going to wave to you. Sweet. All right. I think you missed, I heard you say stuck in the middle. Oh, yeah. Stuck in the middle with you. That could be like my catch song. Like if I go into convention, like whether it be like a dance comp entrance or something, maybe I could like play that on like a radio I'm carrying with me. I actually like that. That's a good one. I'm going to move my Instagram over here so you can see me better. But in the meantime, we will watch. We got a beautiful little beach side setting on the TV, and it's waiting for the response from the interviewee. All right. Next question, folks. Question number 4. And I like to just ask in generalization, what is your favorite food? I'm curious. All right, Darwin, Ash, Rusty, Mike, whoever is watching this, go ahead, tell me all about it. What is your favorite food? I'm kind of curious. Like my favorite food, for instance. I am a fan of, I'd say like my main one is definitely like kale. I like, had some like really gassy right now. I really like kale salads. I try to eat really, really healthy. because sometimes I don't exactly always, eat the healthiest. Like sometimes, oh crap, I'll have a hamburger. Oh snap, some days I'll have pizza. So I kind of try to balance things out. And like kale has got a bunch of antioxidants, it's got a bunch of vitamins, minerals, all the above, and it helps clean, like I'm saying, hence the gasiness. It cleans out your colon really well, and it's really healthy and good for you. So that's one of my favorite go-tos. I try to eat a lot of salad and try to, keep myself in shape. Steak, yeah, that's a winner. I totally agree. I was watching on Facebook. Looks like all the action is here. I know, right? Everyone's getting in on the action on Instagram. I get all motivated up on the Instagram. But what's weird is I got like more friends on Facebook or followers or whatever, but then everyone's like jumping in on the action on Instagram. So like favorite food, yeah, definitely agree. Steak, that's like a good go-to protein. I mean, like you throw that on the grill, you throw some Montreal steak seasoning on that thing, you throw a little bit of barbecue sauce, or even by itself. There's some potatoes, some grilled asparagus, or corn, whatever. Bam, dinner is served, baby. That agreed. Steak is wonderful. Let's see what else. Okay. Oh, oh yes, absolutely. I like that. I see if I get questions on the Instagram stream, I will totally answer those as well. I see a question. What's your favorite food and drink along with favorite first suitor? Okay, so I got that question from Ash. So my favorite food and drink, I would say my favorite food, as I mentioned, is usually like healthier stuff like kale salad. My favorite drink, my favorite like alcohol drink at the moment. Yes, I'm 21. Yes, I'm way over 21. I'm old. Is if I do have alcohol, I really like the seltzers, like the Trulies right here. Those are actually really tasty. I know the trend is, oh, everyone drink White Claws, but I'm like, White Claws they don't have any flavor. These guys, this one tastes like grapefruit. It is a grapefruit. It tastes wonderful, and I'm not going to complain. Wait, I need to get a straw to safely drink that thing. Let's see. But then, like my favorite, like non-alcohol drink, I would say I really flourish towards like Diet Dr Pepper or Diet Pepsi or anything diet. I can usually drink pretty well because those are really tasty. I'm kind of used to the aspartame. The only thing is that kind of stinks is that I've had like regular Pepsi or Mountain Dew or whatever, and I almost can't drink it because it just ah tasty. Is I'm not a fan of like regular soda because just like I'm so used to like lower sugary things. I have like it almost tastes just funky to me. I can't really drink it because if it's got sugar, I'm just like I can't. Oh, all right, what do we got, Rusty? Oh yeah, get back to grilling. Yes. Let's see. So yeah, and absolutely. If you guys squeeze in any questions during my little interview with you guys, I'm totally down. We'll answer that. So Rusty said, "What's your someone's theme song?" Um, you know what? That's actually a deep thinker. I have not come up with actually a theme song to my suit. My Sona itself, I would say probably. Hmm. Hmm. My God, that's a tough one, Rusty. That's wow. I would say if there's a song that would really define me, I would probably say, yeah, I'm gonna go with. I really like I've always been a fan of Rocky because hence the red, white, and blue kind of reflects. You know how Rocky has like the red, white, and blue shorts when he's boxing from Rocky 3 on. I would say is probably like the classic is like Eye of the Tiger. I really like that song because it's got a good bass to it. It's got that 80s pump to it. It makes you want to, work out and box and everything. And as you guys saw, I know how to box too. So I'd say one of my number one songs that's definitely my go-to to get me pumping is definitely like Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, 1982. Great song, or 81. Anyway, that's a really, really good song that I really like. All right. So Next question I like to ask my interviewees. Where is my icon? Is my cursor? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't see very well my cursor. I'm gonna curse pretty soon if I can't see my cursor. Where's the? Wait, it's here somewhere. Wait a minute. Oh my God, did the computer eat my cursor? I don't know where my cursor went. Oh, there it is. There's that son of a gun. All right, next question. What is your favorite part about streaming and least favorite part about streaming? I would say, I think, oh yes, agreed. Eye of the Tiger freaking rocks. Makes one, pump stuff and punch stuff. Anyway, I'd say the best part about streaming for me, and you guys can answer it too if you've done streaming, I'd say it's really a unique way on different platforms to connect with the audience. Like on Instagram, I got all you wonderful fluffs on here. Listen to me just talk about, just well, I was supposed to interview Pineapple Fox, but he's not here. But anyway, is I really like getting to know the audience from a different thing. I mean, you can post cute pictures and little phrases on Instagram. You can pose nice little things to be positive or create drama on Twitter. You can do stuff on Facebook. You can do stuff on, but it feels more personable when you're doing a video call or a video talk because then you feel like you're connecting more with your audience when it's almost like IRL. It's like I'm talking to you without being physically in the same room with you. And that's what I really enjoy about streaming. You're kind of like, and you kind of get to flash your personality. Like for me, as you guys can tell, I got a different kind of personality. I'm just all over the place. As well, it's like when I do the furry interview streams, like I said, it's a good way to get to know them on a different note. And then instead of just, you can only know so much by texting. I know a lot of you like texting. I do it too. Probably too much that I scare people away. Is when you're video and it's almost like you're talking to them in person. And it just, yeah, I do enjoy, streaming. The bad part about streaming that I would say is definitely like a negative side to it is like I mentioned earlier. Discord is, a lot of furries really like that platform. But when I tried to do, interviews in the past, the sound doesn't work sometimes, the video play doesn't work sometimes, and everyone's like, oh, it's so great and wonderful. I'm like, no, I played with it, and I've done everything, and it does not work. That's one of the most frustrating, annoying things is when I'm trying to do an interview or a stream, and internet blips out or anything, then your streaming doesn't work, or like on Instagram, more than likely it's going to happen, is that the stream does not process properly because of crappy 5G reception, and you spend a whole hour making some really good content, and oh well, yeah, Instagram says, oh well, it didn't record. I'm like, I just wasted an hour of my time for nothing. But that's why I do different platforms. I do Facebook. I do YouTube. That way, I got 1 in 3 chance that one of these is actually going to come out and it's going to, process well. So that's what it is. Definitely have yourself a multiple platforms. I recommend. And that way, if you do a good stream, bad stream, and one of your softwares doesn't work properly, bam, you got a good chance that you will not have an issue. Hi, Fluffy Fursky. Hi, what's up? And of course, if any of you want to ask any questions, I will check out on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube and Facebook, and I will check out what you got to say. So you're a fan of Meatloaf, My Son is based on a team that used to be great. It's a great song. Oh, yes. Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, I've never actually seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show. A lot of people really enjoy that. It's on my to-do list. I got to watch it. We did actually watch the Little Shop of Horrors last week. There's a bar in downtown Orlando called Cocktails and Streams. So I'm advertising. So there, another thing about streaming is you can advertise, and if you get to know that person you're advertising, they can sponsor you, and that's how you get monies for doing videos. It's a really nice like horror movie themed kind of gothic-y bar, and they have horror night, and you watch different movies and you play like a bingo card, and different scenarios happen throughout the movie, like having mommy problems, running towards the suspiciously scary noise, running up the stairs, historical death. It's actually really fun. and they'll have a host that sits there and watches the movie with you, and you go through and you try to argue and say, hey, this just happened, and they'll be like, yeah, that happened, and then you get to mark your card, and then if you got a bingo, boom, you get a shot. I'm like, yeah. And we've been lucky, like every time we got, a shot. And then my hubby, who's I want to give him snuggies right now, is last week he got really lucky, or 2 weeks ago to be exact. He was actually there, and at the end they do a drawing for a $50 gift card to that Cocktails and Screams, and he wins it. That lucky son of a gun wins a $50 gift card to Cocktails and Screams. So next time we go there, he's buying the drinks. Yes. Or he can save it for another time, whatever he wants to do. That's his gift card. He can do what he pleases. Meatloaf is amazing. Rip. Ah, yes. Agreed. Someone says, hi, what's up? Ark and Mickey Rooney. Very nice. Love it. All right. Next question. There's that cursor. Favorite alcoholic drink and non-alcoholic drink. So, like I mentioned, you guys can answer it too. And, if you don't drink alcohol, then you just say your non-alcoholic drink. That easy. I'd say, like I was saying, my favorite is like seltzers. Those are always tasty. I don't really do the hard stuff anymore. Because if I do too much of that, I'm just like, oh. I get like drunk really quick now because my tolerance has gone down over the years. So that's why I kind of avoid the hard alcohol, but I'll have like a seltzer, once in a while. But hey, Kovu. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Kovu made it in here. Ah, my goodness. I danced with you. Hey, how are you? Glad to see you, you cuties. My goodness. Boop. I'm going to boop each and every one of you, boopy. I'm going to boop the shit out of you. All right. I'm going to boop you too on that camera. See? The boops will continue until morale improves. But yeah, and then like I was saying, seltzer, and then my non-alcoholic drink is, I kind of like diet sodas, but then, the classics. I mostly drink water during the day, work, homework, exercise, days off. Mostly water, and then like milk and juice. I kind of like change it up and keep it kind of interesting. Aww. Orange Fanta? Oh, man. That actually sounds really good right now. I could totally go for one of those. Like an orange Fanta. I remember do you remember the ladies dancing like, don't you want to Fanta, Fanta? Don't you want to Fanta, Fanta? You guys, y'all have had to see that commercial. If you drink Fanta and you don't know what that commercial reference was, there's something wrong. Let's see. I also surrendered ice cream for Lent along with especially Dr. Pepper and root beer. Will not be near Dr. Pepper float during the Easter. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I gave that up for Lent. Oh, snap. If you gave that up for Lent, that's got to be tough. I'm like, let's see. What did I give up for Lent? I think I gave up swearing or something. Like, that's one that obviously I failed. And, please forgive me, Jesus. That yes, it's really tough because I got a sailor mouth per se, so I swear, and I noticed throughout the stream I swore at least probably like 6-7 times now. So yeah, I've definitely not been obeying. That or we were just old now. I know, right? I'm just too dang old. Stop saying old, Darwin. You're cursing us. Every time you say old, I feel like something else just breaks. Oh, God. Dating back to 2000. Oh, my God. It's my usual one that I do. If I succeed, it'll be 16 or 17 years in a row. Wow. That's really good. To give that up for 16 or 17 years in a row of like giving up like sodas and stuff, that's commitment right there. Like one time I gave up, I gave up swearing. And then another time I gave up chewing, which actually going on about 8 or 9 years now, I quit chewing tobacco. I used to do Grizzly Wintergreen and Chaw and Redman and Copenhagen and Skoal. I always had a big old dip in my lips like that. And I was spitting and everything. And then right around October, pre the year that I finally quit, was I just threw out the dip and I stopped chewing, and it's been about 8 years. So no more chewing for me. All right. Let's see. Next question we like to ask. Here we go. Question number 7. What is your favorite video game? I know, Darwin, you better answer this one. Or I swear to God, I'm going to reach in there and grab you and be like, what's your favorite video game? See? Sorry, dudes. I didn't technically swear loud enough to be heard, so if it was not heard, it didn't count. But, like, favorite video game, for instance. I would say my favorite video game of all time is, I'm sure I made references to it, is you can't beat a classic, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. Final Fantasy VII, I mean, yes, everyone's going to get on, has been on my case. Splits, why haven't you played the new one, the remake? And I'm like, I honestly, the newest game system we have is a Nintendo Switch. I don't have the PlayStation 4, so I need to get that first to get the Final Fantasy VII remake. But yes, it's definitely on my list. Hey, Subaru Furry. Very cool. Is definitely Final Fantasy VII, the original 1995 or 6 version, PlayStation 1, one of the greatest games of that decade. Everybody played it. Almost everybody played it. Even non-RPG people are like, oh yeah, I know what Final Fantasy VII is. The Cloud Strife and the whole, Avalanche and Sephiroth and Meteor. So I'm a little bit of a Final Fantasy VII nut. And I watched originally the Advent Children, when they had the Advent Children like post FF7 movie, dubbed in Japanese, but it had English subtitles. I watched it in Sasebo, Japan. My goodness, when was that? Probably like 2006 or so, like right when it's first coming out. When I saw Advent Children, I'm just like, I couldn't take my eyes away from the screen. Like, this is great. It's on PC, bro. Wait, maybe, I don't know. Well, maybe. I mean, like, my hubby's got like Steam and all that on the PC, and he's got a Xbox controller that I'm sure can be configured to PlayStation mode. Probably boot up FF7 remake. So, but that would stink though, because I'd be so addicted to it because I'm such a diehard FF7 fan. I wouldn't stop. So I'd be like sitting there playing for like 60 hours or however long it takes to beat straight. And I'd have the zombie brain going. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker. I'm gonna sleep for 3 or 4 days. I gotta beat this game. Also, can't give you my favorite game of all time. It's impossible. That is true. You have a large collection, Mr. Darwin. You have a large collection. That is true. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see. Madden. Oh, yes. Madden 07, 08, 04. Very good games. I always like the football games. Like one of the number one best ones that I was NFL Blitz. Hence, it's close to my name. The NFL Blitz. So, you get like, what is it? You got to get like 30 yards to get a first down. And then after like, you tackle them, you can pile drive and beat the living crap out of each of the players. That game was great because instead of rage quitting, you just take your players and just like beat the crap out of the players and just like close hang them or pile drive them or DDT and then do a bunch of wrestling moves. And, you'd probably get, kicked out of the football league if you did that. But NFL Blitz is hilarious. Hey, Azure got in here. Very nice. Bonjour, Azure. All right. So let's see. 30-second timeout. I missed Blitz the league too. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Let's see. Favorite. Here we go. Question 8. Favorite convention. What is the favorite convention? I'm sure all of you have been to not all of you, but some of you have been to a convention. It can be a dream convention. What's your favorite convention and why? I would say favorite convention. I'm sure I'm going to probably make a certain fox a little giddy. I'm going to probably say that Texas Furry Fiesta, aka TFF, is probably one of my all-time favorite conventions. It's like even though it seems like a small, but it's like just a big heart kind of convention, and it's just amazing that There's so much to do. All the like everyone that works there is just really nice, really got that southern hospitality thing going on in the Texas. And the panels are good. Yeah, a lot of really cool furries show up there. I mean, holy smokes! This year, what was it? Sky Cabot was GOH, and and then had friggin' Ada Beta showed up, Bikendi, Darwin, a bunch of my favorite flutes. Tuners was there. I'm like, I was like drooling. I was like, this is great. And everyone's so friggin' nice and awesome. The location was pretty decent. Nice hotel, nice convention centers. Everything. I don't have a complaint. If I were being constructive and even slightly, it would be like, well, the elevators are kind of working funky. Escalator kept breaking, and then the floor in the dance hall kept bouncing. I'm sure Darwin can confirm this one. The floor was literally bouncing like a trampoline when we were in the dance hall, and you could see from below. Check out Slush and Kodiak's video on. I'm sure a bunch of fluffs, not just them, on Twitter had the videos of the doors of the lower floor below the dance floor at TFF. It was like, it was shaking. I'm like, oh my god, this is freaking crazy. Yeah. But other than that, TFF, one of the best conventions ever. So if it's your first one you want to go to TFF. TFF is freaking amazing. I would totally recommend it. I have no regrets. TFF, and I got to hang out with like so many cool flutes. I got to meet so many new ones. I got to hang out got to go to some cool panels. I mean, what was it? Darwin and I were in the video game history panel, and we're watching. We're like giddy little kids. We're like, oh my god, do you remember Atari? Oh my god, this game for Nintendo was shit. And we're just like, it felt like little kids again, and it was a good walk down memory lane. Learning about the furry psychology panel and learning all these psychological terms. I'm just like, I'm in love. And they're like, any people in the psychology field or therapists out there? And I'm just like, me. And they're just like, and every time they said like certain psychological terms, and I would start getting like making little girly laughs, and they'd just be like, they'd look and be like, this guy gets it. I'd be like, yes, the fandom is a great thing. All right, I love TFF. It's such a good con. It's big con, but it's a chill. Exactly. Nail on the head there, Darn. Valid point. Perfect. But yeah, I would say totally, if you want to go to a convention, TFF is the place to go. Check it out. Totally highly recommend it. If it's your first con or wanting to go there again, I've been there twice. I've been to that con equal number of times. I've been to MFF twice. I've been to Megaplex twice. And I've been to TFF twice. Those are the 6 conventions I've been to so far. And I'm almost addicted. I would almost go back every year because it's such a great convention. There's so many wonderful beans there. Bam. All right. Okay, so here's one that I threw into the mixture. Number 9. Who's your best friend and why? Who is your best friend and why? That is a good question. Because everyone has a best friend. Some have, boyfriend, girl, whatever. I mean, that's kind of a loaded question too. I mean, at the moment, I'll just say ultimately, like my intimately wise. I mean, look at my ring. Look at the ring. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. Anyway, I would say like, of course, my husband, my loving, wonderful Yin Bean. He's like my number one, my mate, my partner, best friend in the world. I love him more than anything else on earth. But I would say like next in line, like best friend. Oh, I got so many. It was okay. I'm gonna make it like I won't say best friend, but I'll say like I'd say the top 3. They're like my BFFs. They're like my, I can talk to them. I can always like, I know they're always there for me and vice versa. So I'll say like my top 3 kind of like best friends. I got a lot of friends, but I'd say I'm gonna keep it simple. One of my best friends is definitely, Rusty Bourne, the horse. One of my greatest friends ever. One of the first cool, freaking awesome fluffs that we met at, we talked a little bit on Telegram at first, then we kind of went from there, and we were chilling at MFF. So yeah, one of my beans, one of my top buds is definitely Rusty Bourne. Another one I'm gonna probably put in my top three. I know he's watching, so I'm getting blushy as I'm saying it. Sorry, Darwin, you have made that list. You were one of my three probably BFF friends in the world. I don't know, in the last like well, yeah, it's been about 2 years we've known each other. It's just we have so many cool things in common. We like I was saying, we're the video game panel or the panel, we're just like getting all giddy and making little jokes. And it's just like, I don't know, every time I think of you, you're just like, oh my God. And when you're having bad days, I feel bad, sorry, like more like deeper emotional feeling, and then and just like we have so many, and whenever we're at conventions in the same spot, we're like we hang out and everything, and it's just like, yeah, definitely one of my best friends in the world. Got Rusty, we got Darwin Fox. Oh, the third one, that's always a tough one. um I guess it's based off the ones that you most engage with and talk to the most. I would say, hmm. Um, I'm gonna go. Okay, so probably one of my other. I got a heart from Darwin. Oh my God, he's gonna make me blush. That my whole face is gonna turn red. I would say my like best friend that's probably in the top three. I would definitely say is got to probably be. hmm, I'm gonna get some hate for this, hopefully love, but I know he's probably not watching. But like another Fox, Caffeine Fox, another absolute sweetheart. We've been talking to each other a little bit on and off, but then like met him at a couple conventions, and we're same thing. Just like we can talk back and forth all day long about everything, and so helpful, such a kind, caring, like Darwin and Rusty is just like very caring and just like I was curious, like I don't know how to make YouTube videos. This, he's just like, well, just do this. We'll just do this. We'll just do this. Goes above and beyond to help me out because I'm derpy. I don't know how the hell this technology works. So he's like, try this, try this, try this. It's the same thing. Darwin, same thing. I'm like, how do I get more stuff going on Instagram or TikTok? And he's like, oh shit, here, do this, 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 this. And I do this, 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 and I'm just like, holy crap, it actually works. And I really appreciate it, and because that tells you that that's like a deeper friendship, is that people that they got their lives, they got their friends, they got this that going on in their lives, but they take that time to actually step out of the box and help you out. That is like a deeper like thing that just really, it means a lot to me, and it really, yeah. So those are like my three BFFs in the world. So yes, exactly. And it's so yeah, Rusty, Darwin Fox, and Caffeine Fox are like my top three best friends in the world. Every time I like hang out with them, I'm just like like get a kid. And then like I think I even told you, Darwin, like I was DMing you that when like I get like post con depression. Some get a little bit. I've been okay with it, but when you hang out with like really close friends, like when I hung out with you and Slush and Kodiak and everybody, and the day after my flight took off from Dallas and landed in Orlando, I mean like literally on the bus going to the bus station from the airport, I was this close to crying because I just like, oh my God, it was when you're around your bros, you just like, oh, it hits you so hard. Anyway, but no, I'm good now. It's just like that day, I just like, oh no, because like when Darwin, you remember, like the night before, we had to check out, I gave you that second hug. I didn't want to let go. I wanted to hold you for like hours and hours, but no, have to let go, move on. But it's not ever goodbye. It's always a I'll see you later kind of thing. So that really helps. I'm like, oh snap, just go to TFF, or maybe Darwin will come visit, or vice versa, whatever. So never look at it as a goodbye when you leave conventions. Always think of it as I will see you again. Hence why TFF is so awesome. So I will likely go there again. Let's see. 3 wishes. So imagine getting a genie and he says, I will give you 3 wishes. And they say is the advice is to do wish for a million wishes, then you'll have a bunch of wishes, unless he's a jerk. It's like, no, you can't do that. You can only do 3 wishes. I would say 3 wishes, and any of you can, talk about what your 3 wishes would be. Rusty, Dark, whoever's watching, any of you on any of the platforms, go ahead. Tell me what your 3 wishes are. Hi, Fox. How are you doing? So we're just answering this question. Is what are your 3 wishes? I would say my wish number one is I would wish like world peace. I mean, no crap, no. I mean, see what's going on with Ukraine, Russia, and China, and we're all like this close to like a war situation. I'm just like, oh, I was in the military, I fought in the war, I did all that different stuff, and then just like, I love to see us just to grab a drink, hang out, and be buds. Ugh. I want war, fighting, killing, all that to just stop. It's just we've been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years, and it's just in the end. I mean, I guess some good things come out of it, like technology or whatever. But I mean, look at Civil War, the thing for slavery, one of the deadliest things ever of war in the United States. I think 250,000, I believe, died, and for to free slaves and everything, other things, I'm sure. But I'm just like, ugh, I don't know. I gotta say, I mean, and I'm not anti-war or anything. I'm military. I understand sometimes war comes with costs and so on, but all I see is these costs, is these headstones, and and if you see in like those, seeing the different bases, you see it like Fort Snelling, or you see at Arlington, and you just see hills upon hills upon hills of white tombstones and white crosses. All these people are gone, but they don't go without vain. It was in pursuit of one day we will be in a peaceful world. So there is rhyme and reason to why there is war. Let's see. End to conflicts globally, lots of money being turned into my persona. I hope that the world war ends. I've seen the Ukraine furry convention videos. Really makes me emotional. Same in Russian prevent. Yeah, exactly. Because Russia, Putin wanted that whole thing. I'm not going to get super political in here because that's a bad area you can get into with the fandom. Is don't go political. Is I really hope that everything works out with Russia and Ukraine, but see what happens. Second wish would be, I like that one. Money. It would be just unlimited money because I would use it to help others out. I mean, take care of myself first, obviously, but then I would use it, and I don't know if I buy people fursuits. I guess unlimited money. I guess you could. I could buy them all the fursuits they wanted. Would be to help, take care of myself, take care of my family, all that. And then I would go around any, furry that, doesn't have a place to live. I would end, the world hunger and, homelessness, all that. Everyone would have a place to live. They would have food to eat. And if they want a fursuit, bam, they'd have a fursuit. Number third wish, I would say, my third wish is, yeah, just not just end of world conflict, but like cancer, sickness, that everybody could just live for, I don't know, for like ever, but like to like not like have cancer or sicknesses. Like if you died of like old age, you just, you went, nice peacefully or whatever. Not like when people have cancer and you're going through so much, just inconceivable pain and just torture and everything before they die. I just, when I see people doing that, just, ugh. Because I actually have, my mom had, it's good and it's shrunk now, but she has cancer. And, when lung cancer gets really bad and certain cancers, it is just painful, excruciating death. So yeah, pain and suffering, that would definitely be another wish, is that everyone just doesn't have to worry about pain and suffering. No speed limits on highways, unlimited money, and perfect health my whole life. Exactly. See, these are great wishes. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Next question. Favorite anime. Oh, we got about 5 minutes left, so we have to blast through these last questions. So favorite anime. I would say my favorite anime of all time is definitely I would say Neon Genesis Evangelion. If you guys know of that one, it's the fighting robots, and they're like made with angel DNA, and then ironically they're called angels, but they're like evil, and then they fight them in the robots, and Shinji Ikari and Asuka and Rain, I think. I'm trying to think of the other girl, and then they go and they do fighting robot stuff. Like definitely, Evangelion is one of the go-tos. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. There's quite a few good seasons of it, and then there's like After Earth Evangelion, Evangelion classic. I could watch that over and over and over again. I got like the intro stuck in my head. One Piece, hands down. Good choice, Darwin. Very good choice. I think I've seen a couple episodes, but like if you go on like Evangelion or get into any of the Vampire Hunter D's, I'm your guy. I've seen them. They're classics. Ranma One Half is actually pretty good too. And then yeah. Then classics like Pokemon and Digimon's pretty kind of like Pokemon all day. Pikachu is my boy. Oh yeah, Pokemon definitely. Okay. Let's see. Next, I'll double check Facebook. Okay, no answers. Okay. Most embarrassing con moment. So number 12, most embarrassing con moment that you've ever had. And the streams are SFW, so please keep it above the waist, if you know what I mean. Most embarrassing con moment. For example, my most embarrassing con moment, I would say, is, oh God, I think was, have I ever really had a really embarrassing con moment? Not really. I would say probably most embarrassing. Oh, number one most embarrassing con moment I've had. This was TFF in 2020, the last great convention. I just got done with, I think, dance competition or dancing in the raves or whatever, and my suit, my zipper broke. So my zipper was stuck all the way up, so I couldn't get out of my freaking bodysuit. So I was sweating and nasty. I'm like, oh my god, this is bad. How am I going to get out of this? So I didn't dislocate my shoulder, but I did like a little wiggle, and I literally, like a baby being born, I had to like be born on the top of my suit. Like the head hole was like barely bigger than my neck fur, so I had to literally crawl my way out of my suit, and I'm just like, oh my god, I was all sweaty and nasty. So the top of my suit, the zipper broke, so I was stuck in my suit. So it was either that or be stuck in my suit for the rest of the con, which I wouldn't complain, but I got to get on a flight and go home. So that was probably my most embarrassing con moment. Oh yes, the embarrassing. Oh, the baggage issues at TFF. Yes, that's actually really embarrassing. Is to just have that situation where you go to the con and then you have to go back to the airport because yeah. Definitely was, yeah, definitely being stuck in my suit wasn't fun because we all know what it's like. You get all sweaty and nasty. You want to get out of your suit. You want to get into a shower. I was stuck in my suit it was probably like 3 hours. I'm like, no. Can you join? Well, yeah, sure. Let's see. Well, I'm actually just about done with the questions, but I will do a stream about every other week, so you're more than welcome to join then. If you come in earlier, I don't mind swinging you in, but I'm kind of almost out of time. Uh, Here we go. Number 13. Your favorite Dutch Angel Dragon. And that's okay. Dutch Angel Dragon, you guys can say it's me. You can say it's Telephone. You can say it's Twilight Saint. You can say it's Blibbly Blue Blop or whatever Dutchy weird name they come up with. I'm not going to be sad if you don't say it's me. I'm not going to come after you. I might go on Twitter and cry about it to my 13 followers and act all big and tough. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, is that Telephone?
I know, right? Yeah, telephone definitely. Probably cries on Twitter like a pro. That's terrifying. I can imagine getting stuck in there and end up having to cut myself out of it, and I end up having to. Yeah, luckily I was able to get out of my suit. Otherwise, I did have a scissors. I was gonna do a little snip. I wasn't gonna totally cut my suit, but I was getting close. I was getting sweaty. But I would say, yeah, my number one Dutch Angel Dragon. I would say, I could be a total jerk and just say myself, but that'd be kind of mean, wouldn't it, huh? It's kind of like self-centered. I would say, like I mentioned earlier, what got me into the fandom, and I know he gets a lot of hate, but I would say Twilight Saints probably one of my number one go-to Dutchies. He's a Navy Dutchie. I'm a Navy Dutchie. Ah, he's a Navy Dutchie. I'm a Navy Dutchie. He's a dancer. I'm a dancer. He does really good art. I do kind of like pencil stick figure drawings art. So yeah, but he does a lot of good things for the fandom, and he's military. He used to run the Milvet furry panels. So yeah, he's actually not too bad. Well, yeah, thank you, Rusty. Much appreciated. So yes, I will take that as a compliment. Let's see. Question: what do you do for work? I would say number 14. What do I do for work? What do you guys do for work? I'm kind of curious. What do you do for work? Me, I do therapy. It's called recreational therapy. It's kind of like a psychology therapist and a occupational therapist had a baby, and that's what I do. So I do everything from games to doing like interviews, to, interventions, to groups, and all sorts of different things that helps teach people a variety of things. It helps them control their drug and alcohol use. It helps them to improve their overall mood and effect. It helps teach them bravery. It helps them with their, it helps with anger management. It helps, and I do anything from like groups of like fun and games to actually doing like little sessions. Teach relaxation, yoga, tai chi, all the different stuff that sometimes medication doesn't always usually work. You got to find other alternatives that don't have drastic side effects. Let's see. And Rusty is an analyst. Ah, yes, Frost is definitely a good one. I'm an artist. I'm a freelance artist. Very nice. Wait a minute. Did Darwin just jump out? I'm curious. But yeah, you guys can keep going and talking about what you do, because I'm running short on time here. I mean, I could pull a Darwin. I could do a 2-hour stream if you guys wanted to, but I got things to do tomorrow, so I gotta wind down, maybe watch a little bit of American Dad, and kind of yeah. All right, so you guys can go ahead and answer as I move on to the last question, number 15. I need to add like the cool effects like Veggie does. Someday. I'll play with YouTube enough in studio and make myself look all fancy. But number 15. What are you afraid of? So I'm curious, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of not grabbing a cute little kitty. Look at the kitty. You want to go kitty? See? I got my kitty. Oh, he's a good kitty. But anyway, I would say the thing that I'm afraid of. Tornadoes. You're not a fan of tornadoes? I would say probably like. Oh, I think I mentioned it before, but I'll bring it up again. I'm afraid of failure. It's like I'm afraid of failure in my job. I'm afraid of failure in my classes. I'm afraid of failure in life in general. But no, I always have this fear like things aren't going to work out and I'm not going to succeed at things. Even though I've been pretty good. I've passed all my classes. I've successfully bought and sold houses and came out financially, quite a few tens of thousands of dollars ahead. But I always have that fear that it's not going to work out and I'm going to end up losing money. I'm going to end up losing my job. I'm going to end up, failing my class. I think that's kind of like just this like an anxiety thing then I'm always afraid I'm gonna fail at being a friend to like Darwin or Rusty. I always am afraid that I'm not good enough. I'm going to fail. I know where it comes from. It could be maybe I've had some things happen in the past that I had no control over, and I felt like a failure. Going the Freudian way. I don't know. I feel like I'm afraid of failure, but the best things to really do is to overcome the fear. Is I study, so I do well in class. I work hard so, I don't get fired from my job. I plan ahead and have money sitting around so that when I buy a house, I don't lose money. And try to save, save, save. Oh, yes, exactly. So, and like afraid of failure, like I'm afraid of like, I might say or do the wrong thing. I might lose some of my best friends, like, Caffeine or Darwin or, Rusty. I fear failure, but do what you can and just be real, just be honest, just be true, just be genuine, just genuinely kind as you can. And likely your failure will not happen. But always have a backup plan, I always say. I always learned that in the military. I learned that, as a child growing up. Always have a second and third and fourth option. As long as you have those, be prepared to fail. It can happen, but your likelihood is smaller if you're properly prepared. With that, always be prepared. As long as you have a plan, a secondary and a tertiary plan, failure, but be okay with failure. It's part of life. Everybody fails. Some might get a bad grade. Some might not get that job they wanted. Some might not get that fursuit they wanted. Some might not win that dance competition. I've had those happen. I am okay with it. That is life. What you do is it's your choices you make. You can either A, let the failures define you and just go on and be like, you know what, life sucks. Fuck life. Fuck it. I don't care. Or you can take those learning experiences and be like, you know what? Hey, I didn't win dance competition. What can I do to increase the chance that I will do well and maybe win next time? I can practice. I can get a really good song. I can work on my routines, get advice from other dancers. Bunch of things. Look what you can. Look at it as learning experiences, and that's way you can turn a failure of the negative to a positive. So, with that, I'm gonna go off for now. So thank you guys so much for checking me out on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course, last but not least, on Instagram. I really appreciate each and every one of you. You all make my day. Love each and every one of you. You take care. You have a good night. Thanks for sitting with me and answering some questions and getting to know ourselves as well as me. Splits Dutch Ain't a Dragon. Good night.